Okay. This game just keeps pulling me back in, doesn't it? Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're all doing well. I'm doing fine. I should mention ahead of the time, if you hear something in the background that sounds like a really big gust of wind, my area has been going through some rain literally all day, so yeah, if you hear some whistling sounds, that's the wind blowing. Anyway, so if I remember correctly, in the last stream, we found out that we pawned our gun, and that we essentially had a few leads, got a new suit jacket, broke into someone's apartment, and learned that apparently the communist regime that the communist regime that had been established and, taken over this whole town had since not gotten much prevalence since. It's been dead. So, yeah. A lot of interesting topics, I understand. But yeah, we've also gotten some new stuff here. The Suicide of Krasmazov, Mazovian Socioeconomics, Lonesome Long Way Home. So, apologies for that, that's my phone. Okay. And yeah, we also got some pants. I love that that's called Disco Ass Blazer. That's amazing. And we got these glasses that look like, they're those type that have sunglass lenses on the, okay. Interesting. And yeah, I now picked Visual Calculus to be the next stat that I level up, because Physical Instrument is done being leveled up, and, yeah, it certainly had some interesting input. And we've made some decent money by walking around and picking up change. And if I remember right, did I have anything that I could sell to... I don't want to get rid of Kim's handkerchief. He was a cool dude that gave us his handkerchief when we threw up at the side of a dead body. I'm not giving away that handkerchief. We also talked to Cindy the Skull and learned about some interesting insight there. And we keep wanting to stare at this wall to figure out what the hell its deal is.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Yeah. Nothing really significant about the wall. Capeside Apartments, excuse me. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, roundabout north. Oh, I thought I was reading the crane, not the street signs. Inside the frame of a motorcycle in repair, and the tools used to dismantle it, or disassemble it. Yeah, Cindy the Skull. Oh, trash compactor! Something good has to be in there. Yes? I can't open it. Damn. Yeah, and that's just going back into the, Actually, didn't I also get a bottle of booze? That's ammonia. Oh, it's a tool. Huh. Well, I'm not going to use it. I thought I could take it to the pawn shop, but I guess pawn shops didn't take booze. Alright. What is this? The belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted. Docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, or Ghislain, however you pronounce that.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
Joyce L., what does the L stand for?
Phaeton, my maiden name.
Her bony hand dangles from the sleeve of her over raincoat. Shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
It's rude to at least not shake hands.
Like steel, there is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode.
I
Very
drank to the
unusual.
point of losing every
But I can assure
bit
you
of knowledge of
his complete
existence.
impotency.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
Got it. How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
A billion?
Wow. That's it? I thought Wild Pines was supposed to be big time. Numbers like that mean nothing to me. The money I owe is so much less than that. What exactly is a billion?
It's a number, officer. A big one.
What is it made of?
It's made of 1,000 millions. A million is made of 1,000 thousands.
Wow.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments.
A wave hits the slop. She grasps the mainstay for
A
balance.
conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
Where does Wild Pines get all these billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
What does such a huge system want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
8% of all the cargo in the world? That's quite the endeavor indeed.
There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
Wait, what if I want to hear about trade secrets? What is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In
Ah.
practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines
Yep.
and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
Yeah, she's essentially supposed to be a third party, but if she's working for Wild Pines, that doesn't exactly make her sound very third party-like.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Fucking... Oh, that's right, Measurehead. Oh, you mean Measurehead.
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
She leans back and rolls her eyes. How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
So so Wild Pines, or wait, so they weren't paying them overtime without any kind of medical security either. Jesus, no wonder they went on strike. What happened to this Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to... how did he put it?
She pauses to compose herself.
Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Oh, okay then.
Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Jesus Christ. Like, fucking yikes. Wow. All right, what was this? 15th Indo Tribe. Wild Pines, Field, Caprice, Tricentennial, Villiers, and La Salée, names of Ravachol Indo tribes spring into your head. Set loose at the mention of Wild Pines. Royal monopolies, octopuses, and swordfish, most of them gone now. YBP, Expander, Saint Baptiste, Brightest Star, LUM, Resplendent, Easton Cylindic, Welter, and El Cassette? Is that how you pronounce that? But isn't one missing? Wait, no. There were only 14. Then why do you feel like there was a 15th Indo tribe? So there's something about possible weird business stuff. Got it. What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
What? Over-aggressive commie postering. Jesus. Seems like they have no idea about business. I don't know what to think about that.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal.
So essentially empowering the workers a voice on decisions. I mean, that is kind of... like, I can see why they would want that. Like, in case if, you know, the higher-ups are like, hey, we want to... Okay, so it's like the equivalent of having a majority stockholder have to take the sum of its parts to make a decision about a certain thing to be made, rather than, you know, just the major stockholders inside of the building doing it. So it's an all or nothing kind of thing. They need the approval of all in order to have even permission to put in a new bathroom, probably.
Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000
Okay, that's where the
employees
number,
of
I
Wild
think, gets a
Pines
bit...
Group.
That's pretty funny, I have to admit.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
The scabs at the gate, did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the Union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
I'm gonna guess it's a percentile of yes on that one.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Tell me about this Union boss, Mr. Clare.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
You can't be that bad.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are two of him?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see.
Oh.
With a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the Union itself outside of the Brothers Clare?
The Debardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitates, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The Debardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Ah, so like a official mob. Like, kind of like a mob employed by the law. They're the lawful neutral, or no, the neutral good people.
Refreshingly
chaotic good?
honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
She turns to you.
And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Debardeurs Union is...
Debardeurs Union. An effective advocate for the rights of local working men. A giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol. Basically a socialist mob. I prefer not to have opinions on these things. Like, okay, getting the paid overtime and medical help thing is a big plus. I mean, I imagine that's part of the reason why a lot of people stick with super in careers that, yeah, the job may be tough on them and they don't like it, but it might be the only thing that could let them be able to pay off on, like, pharmacy medication or something along those lines. The only thing that could probably be able to pay for a chiropractor appointment if your back has been acting up horribly. Or if you had a really bad fall and your shoulder breaks and you need the money to pay it off, well, guess what? That's not going to be possible for somebody that's working on their own. I remember specifically that, I think it was last winter, that my barber, or the person who was my barber, had a really bad fall because of the ice on the sidewalk outside of his barber shop, and he hurt his shoulder to such a bad degree that he could not cut hair anymore. So, yeah, due to that, he had to end up changing positions, which is a shame. Basically, what I'm saying is I can kind of understand the idea of having a full-on workers' union that essentially does look out for them, but if their system's inherently corrupt... Because what this feels like is that the strike possibly feels like a pissing contest compared... It feels like a basic thing to make fun of how, I guess, ineffective Wild Pines is at being able to defuse a situation. Let's see, what was it? What did they say? Every worker to be a part of the union, was it? To essentially have decisions from the higher-ups be signed by thousands upon thousands of employees just so it can pass. This feels like it's more of a taunt than a legitimate wanting. Yeah, it feels kind of more like they're taunting the system rather than actually wanting something to change. Not that there probably wouldn't be want something to change, but this feels like they're just throwing people at each other and seeing what happens. I'm gonna go with 4.
Of course, officer.
One more thing, you said something happened in the elections.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Some kind of extortion, probably.
Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a Union matter.
And it seems like the Union's the big cheese around here in Martinez, because a lot of people are even afraid to call police matters in because they don't want unions being like, hey, don't bring outsider forces that could fuck with our whole deal.
The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
That's all I needed here. Let's change topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
What can you tell me about the lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
She falls silent for a moment, contemplating something.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57, and this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? I lost my badges. My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
It's possible after a night of heavy drinking, I lost all my memory of life and the world. I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, this city, nothing. I don't know which of these two would be funnier. Oh, that's hard. Oh, that's a tough choice. Which one's funnier? Well, I mean, this one is just honest. I'm gonna go 2.
Oh dear. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
Yeah, I mean, considering that he fellatiated a gun before pawning it off, it wouldn't shock me if he ate his badge.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
What kind of arrangement would it be?
I mean, favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort.
A dirty alliance? Ugh. I mean, I could do it.
Feeling.
Fuck!
will guide the way.
God damn it! But madam, I need to know about this lynching. It's very important to me. It's the case I'm solving.
I assure you, it is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming this situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible.
You have so much else. I have only this, spreads your hands. This is the entirety of my existence.
She's silent. The wind flaps the sail above her.
This boat, for example, and a home somewhere. I only have this case.
Officer.
The carbon fiber hull creaks. I don't remember anything except... There, now I feel better. I don't remember anything except this lynching. There's only this coast and this lynching.
You know, I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want something, you have to give something back. More than just guilt.
You're doing it. Despite your own best efforts, you're still getting in. Somehow.
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something tangible.
Like what?
The Union is conducting drug trade out of the harbor. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not come as a complete surprise to the RCM either. Perhaps it's time to look into it. Or you can find your badge, which honestly seems like a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Excuse us for a moment, madam.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. You could request a new one from the station, but that would literally take months.
What do you propose, that we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching.
Let's get back to her then. Okay, I didn't think Kim would actually have input to that degree.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Choice on the lynching. Okay. You seem smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on this reality we're in.
This reality?
It's related to that medical episode. I have trouble remembering even the most basic terms of reality.
Ah, yes. The episode. Sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy, now that I think of it.
She puts down her thermal cup and looks at you.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
Isn't that a loaded...
We may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby?
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
I'm a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all?
And what is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
Tell me more about Martinez.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
You mentioned a sea. What is this? What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean. The world's largest body of water. The Insulindic.
Vast, lukewarm, and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
What is the name of this island?
Caillou.
Caillou.
A smooth
Caillou.
over pebble amidst a great blue sea. misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the River Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her and to humanity at large.
Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
What kind of city is Revachol?
The great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism, a fact.
What makes Revachol great?
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Okay, who built the city?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile-Marat, depending on your creed.
When was Revachol built?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
And why will it resolve history?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men. We are
Why
standing
here?
on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
So we're in an unimportant part of an important place? So we're pretty much at the center of the world. So we're on the periphery, basically nobodies.
I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about
She points across the water where the skyscraper rises.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the Bank of the World building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Looks at the sea.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
Observe the large body of water swelling. Cold.
She observes your eyes scanning the horizon, then breaks the silence, slowly.
Jamais-vu? Dereliation. Derealization. Wow, why can't I pronounce that? Revachol Special Administrative Region. Le Caillou, the Insulindic Ocean Coalition Government, Insulindian Mission Command. Name after name, and none of them is familiar. They seem real, but something is wrong. You feel like a kid looking at stickers on a fridge. Truvent, the Apricot Company, World Games 34. You can almost see your hand reaching out for them, scratching at the corners if they see peel loose. This feels like the most important of all the thoughts, the one you truly must complete. Good to know.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Madame Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
You're right, Lieutenant. I'll continue later.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
I'm not gonna go with those now. What are you?
What I am not is a basic term of reality.
What is this?
A bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions?
Am I really that awkward?
Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games.
I meant what this place is.
Ah. This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A. where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot or two.
Rich enough to buy to take up 2 slots. What is Rue des Saints-Ghislain 33A?
A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings...
Yo, how's it going?
After
This
les
is...
bâtiments nouveaux. But 33A and 33B are not
So
nouveau.
essentially, I'm getting a
They're
lowdown on reality at the moment, and, yeah, I got some shit to unpack. A lot of things to unpack. It's basically been a lot. But I'm really enjoying this. This is really fun.
This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall. A real high-rise by the standards of the last century. Built to mirror the skyscrapers across the bay in the Delta. That was before the war, of course.
Who lived in them?
Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannons lopped 4 or 5 stories off.
Yeah, cannons will do that.
Splat, splat.
From a dilapidated balcony, a young girl in odd clothes gives Joyce the evil eye, and red paintbrush held to her throat.
Wonderful.
What is that? Point to Cindy the skull.
The girl in the old lady rags?
Yes.
Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture.
Infraculture?
Yes. You and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags.
Oh, so you're calling her a hipster?
She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the supraculture.
Okay, so now explain the same thing, but to a child. I understand everything. Make it more complicated somehow.
I can't. That's how simple it is. One may dye their hair green and wear their grandma's coat, all they want. Capital has the ability to subsume all critiques into itself. Even those who would critique capital end up reinforcing it instead. All right. What next?
God damn. This became a massive amount of unpacking on reality.
Suddenly, you're not so sure you're part of the supraculture.
I think I may be part of the infraculture.
And what would that be?
Disco.
I can see that, yes. I dabbled in those dark arts myself, not so long ago. I assure you, it was a thoroughly supracultural phenomenon. All permeating. Downright mandatory.
My god, bell-bottom pants everywhere.
Nothing infra about disco, baby.
Your disco?
Those days are long behind me. And even in the early 30s, I would say I was more of a new girl. Disco was a minor, but still enjoyable facet of the whole thing for me.
The new.
The new. A cultural era. And the name of the decade it ravished.
Ah, so
the
it's literally
30s.
like the...
It
I
came
used to
out
be
of
with it,
post-revolutionary
but then
rebel.
suddenly what was
It was
it became weird
ultra-liberal.
and I didn't like it. And now what I think it isn't. It'll happen to you. It's like that Simpsons clip.
It involved lots of partying, as you might imagine, and champagne-colored everything. By the looks of it, that would have been when you came of age. Now,
Champagne? That doesn't sound like anything I'd be into. I'm straight edge. Sounds fun. I can't remember a single thing.
wasn't it Guillaume Le Million who said, if you can remember the new, you weren't there?
What times are these?
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
Too late for what?
For the big time.
What's the big time?
The revolution.
Ha, and what is this revolution I keep hearing all about?
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real Kerfuffle?
Would you say it was a bunch of apes duking it out?
Why, of course. We're talking Duke Out Central. Full swing intraspecies warfare.
And, just like what the system... I forget what the exact system is, but it's just like one of the voices in the beginning describing the world as a ball with apes bashing against each other. And the apes, were they evil?
No. I would say the apes were neutral.
Okay, neutral.
On the other hand,
She turns north to the bombed out buildings lining the waterfront, then shivers slightly. Who got shot in the head?
those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the
Okay.
World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head.
Okay, so there was an initial kingdom that got taken over by communism, and then communism itself was taken over by a union. Got it. I was getting the timeline of things mixed up. And communism in some ways is still being lauded around, albeit more or less by the youth who want things to be a bit better, but sadly don't have the power to actually make it better.
Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed.
Did the communists and the anarchists shoot back?
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
Truly a kerfuffle.
Yeah, it was a kerfuffle, all right.
Yes, the Insulindian deluge, they call it.
I had a deluge too, in my head. Point to your head.
Yes, an acute thiamine deficiency can be exacerbated by alcoholism. Exacerbated means made worse.
Anyone else get shot in the head? On the opposite side?
Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
I loved that king fuck communists. I say as somebody who apparently wants to revive communism. This game is weird. I love it. I don't care about kings. Tell me one more thing.
About head shooting.
Who got the mineral rights? I think I've had enough
They
about
are
the
what they
times.
are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come.
Like it's a lot of world building, but that's the problem. It's a lot of world building.
Anyway,
Enough that I could.
enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
Still at 17 and 3. What is acute encephalopathy?
It's a neurological disorder caused by a lack of vitamin B in the brain.
Ah, that's how
Symptoms
British she is.
include
She says
retrograde
vitamin and not
amnesia.
vitamin.
It's quite serious. You should get yourself checked out.
She conveys it in short, cold bursts, trying not to invest too deeply in the condition of this doomed detective, in case he goes down later, souring the entire portfolio.
You know, you've got a lot riding on me. I won't let you down. What causes it?
Well, it's either bariatric surgery or long-term alcohol use.
It's definitely the drinking.
She nods slowly.
Yes, and perform autoerotic asphyxiation on yourself with your funny necktie, out in the open somewhere.
Oh man, I'm never getting rid of this tie. Ever. Oh, that's great. I love that the necktie has its own personality. Oh, I love it. All right, still at 3, still at 17. That's all for
Glad to
now.
have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
You seem rich. Can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy,
What?
is it?
What? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
What nice fat... Oh, God, call me Bub.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry. Wealth and all its possibilities. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible.
The kind of rich person that can easily rent out 2 entire apartment sections. Yeah, so?
Now look at you. You misery-clad simian. Barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
Oh my god. Poor as balls. I'm not just poor, I am poor as balls. Wow. That is not the kind of descriptor I would have gotten to in terms of writing. Holy shit. As it should be, for even considering it, this is a woman and fuck that. Yes, I should make my own goddamn money by now. I'm a goddamn working man. I'm not ashamed to shake this leech for some dough. Ashamed?
Yes. You're too ashamed to ask this person for money. Too scared to belittle yourself in her eyes. Those half-precious stones of Odinel.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Heard of... I love that. I love that. You learned about the company being able to rake in billions of real, and one of the modifiers that adds to the volition roll is heard of billions. That is funny. Learning the concept of a billion of currency has made me improve on a check. That is funny. I really like that.
I am sorry. It just doesn't come out of your mouth.
Fuck the... What did I
It does,
roll?
is.
Wow, I rolled piss bad.
Surprisingly eloquent, really. The last one, not the first 3. Those are ape speak.
I am the scum of the earth.
My. Why'd you say that?
I'm gunk.
That's garbage. You're a police officer.
I'm the stuff people have under their fingernails. Let's talk about something else, please.
Of course.
Damn it. I failed an 83%. Jesus, my dice luck has been awful recently.
Of
I
course,
think that's all for
Detective.
now.
Take...
Jesus Christ. Wow. I went from being played in her hands to solve a drug trading case to immediately feeling like garbage because I'm trying to shake her for money. Oh man, that hurt. That really fucking hurt. Oh. I'm gonna pry open this dumpster to feel better. At least I think I can pry it open. Right? Aha! Signal blue naval coat. Ooh, I got a coat. So +1 to suggestion. It wasn't suggestion that was the stat. It was volition, I think. And I haven't leveled up yet, so I can't increase any stats. Holy shit. Yeah, that was a really... God damn, I spent 50 minutes talking to that, or up to 40 minutes talking to her. The level of writing in this game is really head-spinning. And I mean that in the best way possible. A dedicated team of people really wanted to make sure this game had the best kind of script it had. Holy shit. Ooh, a bag. Writing's what carries this game. Well, the mechanics themselves are also interesting. I wouldn't say just that. The mechanics themselves are pretty interesting. It's just a matter of, how do I put this? The mechanics themselves are interesting, but it seems the main focus of this game is to have a story to tell in a means of a video game, which, you know, isn't a bad thing. It just means that this game's gonna have a tough barrier to entry for people, because sometimes people just don't have the patience to deal with point-and-click adventures or even a lot of reading, because if there's one thing that people can hate, it is reading. Trust me, I used to work at a Goodwill, and I cannot count to you how many times people have had to ask me what sale day it was, despite the sign for it being right in front of them. Obnoxious. There's a lot of things here. Plastic, glass.
Yes?
Kim, can you move, please? I'm not gonna convince him at this time that there's a sexy mystery here. All right, where would I sell these? Like, do I take them to a recycling center or what? You know, that's actually a pretty snazzy coat. Why does the MC look so baked? Combo, we're talking about a dude who froze his face damn near with rigor mortis into a constant smile and nearly drank himself into oblivion, to the point where he doesn't remember his own name. And that's the one, and you think he looks stoned. He's just messed up in the head. New Joker? Yeah, oh god, that'd actually be really interesting for a Joker origin story. Just be about a dude who had one too many benders and just kind of wants to see the world burn because he doesn't even remember what the world is.
A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran butter soaks in the canal. Two ugly lines mar the bright countenance of the blonde boy depicted. The sign billboard has fallen on the waterlock, keeping it open, and thus out of order.
What is Samaran butter?
Whatever it is, the boy on the billboard seems very happy about it.
All right. Come on, visual calculus.
Just some tasteless advertising at the bottom of a canal.
God damn
No
it!
use rubbernecking now.
I can't win on this, can't I? God damn it. Wow, it is blowing outside. Like, I am not winning on the dice today. Like, I was at tabletop yesterday and I was having horrible luck on trying to perform attack rolls. It just would not work out for me in any way whatsoever. So I guess maybe I just have really bad luck on this weekend. Because I failed an 83% check to ask a woman for money. Fuck me, man. Alright, can I take it to this guy for...
Hello again. How can I help you? Sure. Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Pawn. That should be it.
I'm not and especially that tie.
Your mother is a necrotic object! I'm fun! Look at me sparkle in the light of the projector!
I love this.
Another time, perhaps.
Oh my god, I love the tie. Alright, so the other thing I discovered from this pawn shop is what I mentioned before about pawning my gun, apparently, and using the money to buy booze. because apparently the main character was thinking, oh, I shouldn't have this gun with me. I'm not in my right mind. But by not in his right mind, the clerk literally said that apparently I fellatioed my gun before giving it to him. Or before the guy could even accept it, which was just... oh, dear Lord.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box, a variety of shapes and colors.
You like sunglasses, officer?
Leave for now. Is there anything... what is in here? More of this. I have no clue where I can take this, but at least I'm getting a bag full of stuff I can get rid of. Hot air rises from the sewer, sour, acidic, and strangely comforting. Alright, well I have 13 real. Just keep an eye out for anything interactable. And this dude can go fuck himself. This dude right here. Oh my god. Can I speak to him again?
Right to work! Right to work!
Excuse me.
Shame on you!
Excuse me, I have further inquiries.
Things are busy enough. You going to waste less of my time?
We'll see.
The hulking man oozes stark skepticism.
Okay, nothing too interesting. But yeah, that's a scab from the company itself.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
I'm a bit short on money right now. Can you give me some of it?
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
Hand-eye coordination. Oh god.
The coin lands into your hand as if it has always belonged there. The swallow returns.
Appreciated.
Always glad to help out the RCM. Shame I can't do more. Things are meager at the moment due to...
Nods towards the protesters.
You know, the winter's fat is slowly running out and all. Still better than scabbing, though.
The Union has a problem getting by?
Nothing to worry about, really. The jam's a bit of a mess, cargo can't get in or out. The rationing is a bit stricter is all. Supplies should last the strike, though.
Every little bit helps, you know.
I'm always glad to help out when possible. Not like these slithering scabs.
Fair enough.
Rigorous self-critique. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die, or overcome it.
Jesus Christ, dude. Bonuses. Heal 1 to morale. Learn cap of pain threshold raised to 6. So is this D&D and dystopia? D&D and dystopia with a mix of with, I want to say, a bit of Call of Cthulhu, because this is very different compared to most games and most RPGs I've ever played. I mean, this is run by a D6 system, and yeah, this is... I've never encountered many other tabletop games besides Pathfinder, D&D, and Call of Cthulhu. But Yeah, this one's interesting. Okay. Rigorous self-critique. Lonesome long way home. -2 visual calculus. Looks like reaction. -1 rhetoric. Temporary research bonus. What was it, the one that it said I ought to need? Was this one? Your hand reaching out. Most important, yeah. Internalize. Yeah, this is a very, very deep game that has a lot of different builds that you can go on. It's gonna be a lot. This game's gonna have a lot of stuff to it. Like, as I said, each of these skills are like their own small personality, and since you interact with them as your own separate person, it's like having 24 party members in your head all the time. All the time. Like, imagine if you had a part of your brain that was the encyclopedic knowledge that you had, and you talked with that instead of, say, looking at a notebook. That's essentially what the stats in this game act like. They act like the representation of your body's blank function, and you yourself are talking to your brain to be like, hey, brain, what is going to be this thing? I realize not exactly the most interesting, I realize that sounds very dense, and it is. As I said, the writing is the star here. Holy shit. Yeah, there's more people. I can't interact with any of these people. Not that person. Where can I take these, Well, in any case,
You see a heavy steel door with
I'm going to take this. Oh, it's a tool. Never mind then. Can I pry it open?
You see the cobalt blues, old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers.
Nope, can't open it. And yeah, to think that this game is on the Switch now, which is even weirder. Like, I cannot imagine what people's I cannot imagine what people will think when playing this game on the Switch. I don't even know how this would run. Like, I've heard it actually runs pretty fine on the Switch, because it's not a very graphically intensive game. Alright. Is there anybody upstairs? Oh, empty cassette case. Oh, cool, I can sell that. Sweet. What's that? Kim tries not to look around at your broken down bathroom door.
Kim also tries not to look at the pile of tape viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant dying in the corner. But it's all just too morbid to ignore.
I'm sorry for this.
No problem, officer.
Kim's a fucking bro. He is a bro with a capital B. Like, there is no other way to describe it. Kim's a good dude. Alright, I've got 14-ish real, and I can get up to 15 by taking that empty cassette tape over. Only problem is, I owe like 130 to the Whirling Rags, so it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. Yeah. Trying to think. So it was, so essentially, what was the time for the smokers thing? At 21, and end of the day briefing was at 22. Okay, so I've got a couple hours before, or in-game hours before I have to go to the smoker. Ugh. And ask him about what he saw, if he saw anything. Or a Sunday friend. And yeah, we also analyzed the footpaths of the area around the lynching, which, according to what that showed, apparently was above like 8 pairs of feet. Oh yeah, we also found Kuno's little hideaway. Kuno's the kid that's throwing rocks at the body. Now, what is that? Uh-huh. Now then, is there anything else around here that I can open up? Oh, there's Real over there. I didn't see it. God damn, I'm seeing so much more. Well, I'm not going to be hurting for health if I ever get hit. I'm going to grab that. Yoink. Get that money.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for their own.
Do you really think this cloak is mine? Should I go for it?
The cloak? I do. Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets
Let's
may
pull
hide?
skill points into savoir-faire to make it. Oh. Oh, so my skill check for that is so low, I can't attempt it again unless I put points into it. I see. Good to know. Unless... Didn't I have something that increased my savoir-faire? Physical instrument. Esprit de corps. Suggestion. Reaction speed. No, okay. I thought I had something that increased my... oh no, if anything, my pants actually lower it. See if that does anything different.
The pockets of these new jeans are perfect for sticking your hand into. Makes you look cool, calm, and collected. As your hand enters the pocket, your fingers brush against something soft, yet crinkly.
Take them out.
Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. It reminds you of the fruity juice of apricots. You should inspect it closer if you have time. Something about the wrapper's texture is
Oh
familiar.
Christ, am I gonna get into an hour-long diatribe of the nature of chewing gum?
A crinkled chewing gum wrapper. The worn label reads, Tutti Frutti. It smells faintly of apricots, with a barely noticeable twinge of cinnamon.
Why do I even care about this?
Good question. There is no answer or secret phrase written on the inside of the wrapper. Yet you're drawn to it. Drawn by regret. Stop before you hurt yourself with the Tutti Frutti wrapper. Throw it away, please. You carefully fold the wrapper into a square before putting it back into your pocket.
God damn it, Inland Empire, you keep making me keep weird
Despite
bullshit
the
around.
feeling of regret.
Inland Empire is just going to keep making me have a lot of weird bullshit around. Alright, can I attempt this again?
A tarpaulin cloak is still
No.
caught on the railing. No one.
Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Cannot do that. And there's nothing else to interact with up here. And I can't... And I imagine since it's all sheet metal, you don't want to jump up and grab the cloak because you might fall and hurt yourself. And nothing else in here. Anything else? You got anything new, Kuno?
Fuck does Kuno care?
The boy turns to you. He doesn't care. Gotta ask, who is Kuno?
Kuno's Kuno, pig?
The boy points to his chest with both thumbs. So you refer to yourself in the third person?
The fuck are you calling a third person? Kuno's the fucking first person?
He looks slightly confused, but proud he came up with
Are those
the
loading
retort.
screens
But right
painted?
as
I
he's
imagine
getting
they are, yeah.
distracted, you hear a malevolent hiss.
Is that
from
man
behind
hanging?
the fence.
Yes.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his hands on you!
The thing behind the fence starts squealing, shrill and violent like a fire alarm.
Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape!
The sound gets louder as the child shouts at the windows overlooking the yard.
Help! He's got the Kuno, help!
I just answer the questions.
Help! He's digging his dick out!
Escalate, Kuno! His dick is out! You're afraid!
Pigs in here, Kuno! Somebody, please!
Ow.
You didn't shut him down. Your fat fist didn't meet its target. Instead, it pulled you down with it.
Oh, my arm! My fucking knee! Say nothing, try to hold it together.
Pig's trying not to cry. Kuno can't believe this shit. Can no one stop the Kuno? Pig, Kuno thought you had this. What happened? Kuno can't do anything now.
He's writhing with joy, like the power you gave him is too much to take.
The whole charade was about establishing dominance over you. It's safe to say he has succeeded.
Fucked your shoulder, fucked your knee, fucked your fat body up!
Kim, help me up.
No.
Oh, yeah, I deserve this.
You deserve this. Trying to show your dick to Kuno. Kuno was scared.
Yeah, laugh it up. Just get back to it. Thank God I've got healing. But yes, this man is indeed hanging.
Kuno beat the shit out of the popo. Beat your fucking knee off.
I told you not to tempt such forces.
The annoyance in his voice is directed at you, not the gremlins.
Now, how about we go and do something worth the public's time?
God damn it. So yeah, I was gonna punch a kid out.
Look, see? It's the...
You belittled yourself before the Kuno. Now you must seek his forgiveness.
Look, play along. I want to make this right with Kuno. Make amends.
fucking what, pig?
Amends, Kuno. I was wrong to try and hit you. I'm sorry. You're a cool dude. Let's just bury the hatchet, okay?
Cool what? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I think you broke his brain when you fucked him up, Kuno.
You better come up with a way to make Kuno forget you tried to fucking hit him, piggo. Stay the fuck away from Kuno. You smell like bum shit. Kuno's not a bum. Kuno doesn't touch that shit.
Why?
What? Do
Why?
you think Kuno's fucking 80 years old? Trying to bring me bum juice? make the Kuno paranoid.
You don't like alcohol?
Just because you get high off that shit doesn't mean Kuno has to fuck himself with that fermented piss and shit mix. Trying to get a 12-year-old hooked on the shit shake?
He looks like he can't believe your depravity.
Alcohol use has been declining in the under 16 bracket this past decade.
Huh. He is high. The kid is high, though. Do not mistake me.
This pleases him.
What can I offer to you, Kuno?
Please don't waste time on nonsense.
The lieutenant does not approve of this at all.
Don't listen to the blind fuck, piggo. You're doing the right thing here, trying to get Kuno to like you again. You can pay tribute to Kuno with drugs, or cigarettes, or some wheels. Kuno could use some wheels. Motorized carriage shit.
What
Whatever
are
then.
you doing?
Nothing, Lieutenant. I don't want to get into this. Oh, man. Even... God, this is the point where I just am like, no, 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 no. Holy fuck. That was something. Oh, never in my life did I ever expect to encounter something like that in a video game. And I asked Kim to help me up, and he said no. Just flat out. No hesitation. Alright, I'm gonna try talking to Measurehead again. See what that does, if anything.
Last we saw, your race was being superseded by the Seminese.
Come on, I just need you to move about 20 centimeters back.
It is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the harbor.
You're right about all this. Now I just need you to let me go into the harbor.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting
Why is
the
everyone
other
so
races
fucked?
to a great world war.
Combo. Are you trying to figure that out? Kinda like Mad Max? Yeah, kinda. Everybody's kinda fucked in here.
Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you.
This dude is acting like he's the fucking the new entry of a new existence.
The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
Oh my god. Conceptualization. Subscribe to his... Oh. Was there a nuclear war or something? There was a war, and this place is bombed to shit because of it. Not nuclear. Subscribe to his advanced race theory. Ooh. Alright, you serve the Union, don't you? Aren't they white?
Oh, don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to Race Theory. He turns his eyes toward the harbor, seemingly bored with you.
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
Yeah, but you still serve them. How does that factor into your life?
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means.
Yeah, this dude is acting like he's the echelon of a new apex of humanity.
Capital. Something your race, naivistic communists, never did.
Like he's acting like he's the fresh shit when he's like the one muscle head that's guarding the thing because he's big. And he likes that he's big. And the ladies like that he's big.
Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic.
This is so much. This is so much that I'm getting off of this guy. Wow. Communism is pretty cool. Seriously, this man's portrait looks like it was painted by a demented artist. I think that's kind of the idea. Everybody's art is supposed to look messed up in some way to show that this is a town of broken people. My jam is a mysterious fourth thing.
Jam. Individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? You have picked them up from rock and roll songs?
I've gotten it from disco, actually.
Offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a shame upon my race. But what is done is done. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable
Christ.
victory of the Seminoles race.
Okay, I'll ask. Who are the Seminoles?
The South Island race, haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Pericarnassus and arrived here 4,000 years ago. Millennia before you.
Where the fuck did they get this man? Like, where does the Union get a man like this? Like, what the fuck?
We are the future. That is all you need to know.
So you were born on and raised on the islands before moving to Revachol.
I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulimbuir are with me in my genetic dreams.
Oh.
I see young Seminoles women walk into the grey mass on Ile de Fantôme, waiting on immaculate conception from the pale.
So you did not come from the islands?
No. I have heard about it on the radio.
Oh God! Oh God! This is too amazing! This is too amazing! Is this rated C for comedy? It feels like it should be. Holy fuck. Okay, so to describe what this is the equivalent of, how do I put this? Imagine if somebody in their house, in a household, found out that a major part of their ancestry came from what's a good culture to, what's a good example? Like the Philippines. Like say part of their genetic code comes from the Philippines, and they're like, oh man, I want to, like, I'm majority Filipino. That means I'm going to fill literally every aspect of my life with all of this stuff about the Philippines, to the point where my personality could be described as Filipino. Or the equivalent in, or that kind of equivalent in Russian, or Icelandic, or South African. This dude, his personality is Seminoles. He's claiming to be the apex of his own people, despite not actually being from their origin point. So you're not really Seminoles, you're just from Revachol.
I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol.
Icelandic, my brain. I slammed dick. I slammed dick. That is pretty.
Networks, our culture
Christ.
will dominate the world.
Jesus God.
You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with, and never getting into the harbor.
Kim, what do you think about this?
I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be too.
Oh, this game is the gift that fucking keeps on giving. Oh, holy shit! This game is this game is great.
That will be the...
Now, that will be our lucky racist. Oh my God. Oh man, I haven't. God damn. This is the hardest I've ever laughed at a video game. Holy shit. I need to slow down on this before I get lightheaded. How do you know there will be a next racist?
There always is.
He's not wrong.
Race is reality.
Thank you, video game, for that. That was a really good laugh. Oh my God. What are those tattoos of yours supposed to mean?
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
He gestures towards the lorrymen down the street.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt.
Wait, is he saying that he tattooed his genetic line on him?
True. That is a noble cranium, but you got a hard noggin yourself.
You sure I'm not craniometrically superior to you?
You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual inaccountability. From a purely aesthetic standpoint, the dimple in your jaw makes you look like a baby. This is not craniometry, just an observation.
He's making fun of my genetics. What else?
It is impossible to see any more of your bone structure. It is covered in the ravages of Al-Ghul. From what remain of your features, I can see fleshy lips, baldness of the head, and long arms relative to lower limbs. This leads me to conclude you are not a police officer. You are a common criminal.
So he's essentially saying that he's an accidental birth.
And
Fuck.
And possibly even the degenerate sheep herders of Ubi.
God damn. Interesting. So one of my ancestors was sur la cliff and other Vesper.
Your racial heritage is uninteresting. It is the same as all Rivasholians. Your parents and their parents made the decision to reproduce while under the influence of Al-Ghul. That is the only reason you are here.
So he's essentially saying that my birth is not so much a chosen decision, it is something done by accident, whereas his birth is done to make genetic perfection. Wow. Wow. Oh. I have a decent... I could try to knock him out. Oh, I just... Holy shit, that was a fresh plate of stuff. All at once, too. It did not leave anything out there. Whew.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez.
Oh god, am I getting another thought? You must be mistaken. I'm a real radical. That's me, Mr. Reasonable. Someone's got to keep their sane around here. This is because I keep saying none of the above to political stuff, isn't it?
It's also about that, but it's also more. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin. But something tells you it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience.
Where is the Kingdom of Conscience?
It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times.
How do you bring about those circumstances?
Incrementally. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. Too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually. Increment by increment.
What about all the things that are wrong now?
Tisk tisk. Just because you live in the present doesn't mean you have the right to place your needs above the needs of the future. You may never live to see the Kingdom of Conscience. Your children may not. Even your grandchildren might not. But that's no excuse not to keep working. What sang-froid?
So wait, is the Kingdom of Consciousness really about doing things or just preserving the status quo?
Do you believe the status quo is preferable to chaos and bloodshed?
Yes?
There you have it. Sometimes holding the line is progress.
Okay, but what is the Kingdom of Conscience actually like?
The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, and even more difficult to describe.
Wow, this game is just throwing curveball after curveball of moral dilemmas at me. Okay, that's pretty funny. Combo shared with me a picture of Untitled Game crossed over with a fan art of Disco Elysium.
Partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The Kingdom of Conscience is post-capitalist, post-national. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual.
Wait, so essentially, like, it's asking me if I'm being asked if I want to opt into becoming a figurehead for a type of society that works to better itself in every category possible, holding a status quo. Fuck it. Sounds incredible. Adelon Z, let's go there right now.
Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromising and taking things slow?
Alright, let's get there eventually.
That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Rivershaw. When that real democracy kicks in, a long time from now, we are all going to be so much happier.
Yeah, so essentially that's saying, yeah, our current time on all this is fucked. At the very least, we're gonna make measures to make things better later. What's the new thing? Kingdom of Conscience. Heartache is powerful, but democracy is subtle. Incrementally, you'll begin to notice a change in the weather. When it snows, the flakes are softer when they stick to your worry-worn forehead. When it rains, the rain is warmer. Democracy is coming to the administrative region. The ideals of DeLorean humanism are reinstating themselves. How can they not? These are the ideals of the Coalition and the Moralist International. Those guys are signal blue. And they are not only good, they are also powerful. What will they be like once their nuanced plans have been realized? Wow. That was so much. Whew. That was a lot. Whew. I frankly have no clue what to think after that. That was a lot. Holy shit. Like, I was being taught about race theory, being like, oh yeah, my time, the time of the people of Revachol have since peaked and gone down and will continue to go down until our extinction, and then we will need a new people to be able to supplant us and become stronger whilst remembering us with some level of fondness. Holy fuck. What's this thing?
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Oh, this is where I recycle my stuff.
Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now.
Okay, so that's how I get... So this is where I go to turn in the bottles that I find on the street. Good to know. Holy fuck. Guys, this is legitimately like the most head-spinning game I've ever played. Like, I've laughed harder than I have in most things. Like, I don't laugh at most TV shows or movies as hard as I've laughed at this game. Well, actually, I lie. I probably cried laughing at a Life of Brian once, but that was when I was a kid. I probably wouldn't have gotten the comedy in this when I was a kid. In fact, I don't think this ought to have been played by anybody that's below the age of something. I don't know. Point is, I don't think everybody would get what's so funny in a lot of these conversations. Alright, well, I'm gonna take my bag out so I can keep picking up trash when I find it. Where's my bag? There's my bag. Alright. Whew. Wow. What a conversation. Oh my god. Whoa. I feel like I just got... I just feel... I don't know what I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling like I'm encountering something I never expected to encounter, yet I mean it in the best way possible. Alright, I saw a bottle on the balcony. I'm gonna go get that. Whew. Yeah, going from No More Heroes to this is certainly a massive, massive heel turn in regards to tone and writing. One game left me slack-jawed because of the sheer confusion of the turns and references being taken place in its story. This one's leaving me slack-jawed because the conversations are so head-spinningly deep and real that, frankly, it's disturbing in some cases.
Ruination has come. The broken arches betray the once grand history of this building. It towered over the harbor until it happened.
Form a guess about what happened.
A great force from the northeast fired into the city. Heavy artillery shelled the coastline. Fired from the water. A straight shot into Revachol. The tenement acted as a defensive wall against the worst of the shelling until it was destroyed, and they had a direct firing line.
Taking the ocean.
The waves of the Martinez Inlet rolled over the fallen remains of the building. The dark waters obscured the better part of the remains.
Look at the ruins in the water.
Those arches acted as support for something greater than what you see now. Only 3 stories stand where 9 to 12 once did. Restoration has failed. What the shelling took out was never rebuilt.
Who did this damage?
A fleet, the combined armies of Occident and Grad, with Mesk volunteers, a 5-nation army, hundreds of vessels. They massed airships further down in the Bay of Revachol. The artillery was so powerful. The ships not only required gyroscopic stabilization, They were anchored into the ocean floor as well. Many are still there to this day. If you squint, you can just barely see the shadow on the water, far in the northeast. Cannons still ready to placate Revachol.
Hey Kim, do you know who shelled our city?
The Coalition. But that was a long time ago. I think we should move on. It's chilly up here.
He does not like talking politics of this kind.
Alright. Well, that was certainly a thought. Oh. Alright. Let's keep walking around. I mean, I want to see if I can knock out Measurehead. I mean, I could see if I can do that, but who knows? That just... I don't know, you ever hear about a different type of conversation in a video game you never expect to hear? Like, that hits in a weird way, man. A lot of this is just hitting in a really weird way. Ooh! Alright, I'm starting to gain some capital. When it's unexpected. Yeah, when it's unexpected. Like, I hear this game has some dense writing, but... Jesus. Like, the layers of conversation that I could have here could probably fill out a stream in and of itself. Like, I could probably go to 1 or 2 characters in this game and fill out an entire 2-hour stream exhausting their dialogue choices. I won't, because frankly I think that might be a bit too much even for me, but I do appreciate that that is indeed a commitment that the developers of this game really wanted to do. They wanted to make people... They wanted to provide people with a game that was a really dense rock of a game to experience. Oh. And I mean that in the most complimentary way possible, because I can't think of many games off the top of... Is this another Hades level dialogue game? Oh, there's going to be more dialogue in this than Hades. Like, let me put it like this. Comparing Hades to this is kind of like an apples to oranges situation. Not to say that Hades' writing isn't, you know, admirable and really good. It is. It really, really is. But... comparing it to Disco Elysium, both games have merits to their writing that the other would probably really enjoy or learn from to some extent. As I said, nothing wrong. Like, again, apples to oranges. You're not, like, no one game's writing is better than the other unless you're talking about quality. Because the quality of Hades' writing and the quality of this game's writing are both equally good. They both have their layers, their themes, their means of conveying what the characters are thinking or doing, or conveying a sense of atmosphere. But they're entirely different stories, you know? It's like trying to analyze what makes Dr. Strangelove so funny compared to Happy Gilmore, you know? Like, you laugh at both of them, but they're clearly different types of comedies. Whereas here, you know, I enjoy the writing in this and in Hades, but they're very different, very different game genres. So, yeah. That's kind of my 2 cents on the matter. I'm not going to make any claims on which game is better than the other, because that shouldn't be the point when you're trying to analyze 2 games or trying to bring about, like, why the writing of one game is different than another and why that might be a good or bad thing. Just appreciate good writing where you can find it. That's kind of what my deal is here. And man, we have found some good writing. Alright, I think... Is there something here? just the statue that was blown apart. I mean, if I were to think of another game that would reach this game's level of world building and understanding the depth of the world around it, especially if I'm thinking Supergiant games, I would probably say Transistor. But even then, you're not really given a whole lot of information about the workings of the city. So, yeah, for the most part, you're just kind of left to your own devices on figuring out what to do with the ruins of what you have. Whereas here, the city's not ruins, but you're in a world that has its own nuances. So, yeah, apples to oranges, basically. That's my means when trying to compare writing.
The tear machine step. Your bottles clunk.
All right, 40 cents. All right, I think. What was the check that I needed to ask for money from the woman? It was. That's Kim Kitsuragi. Was it Esprit de Corps? I can't check it. Or was it Volition? Point is, it was a check I couldn't make. So I think I'm gonna try to make that check, and then attempt something with Measurehead. I don't know what I could do, but I'm gonna attempt it. I kind of want to attempt to knock him out. I kind of want to do that because it would be a sense of grounding him to be like, hey man, get your head out of your ass. Like, anybody can possess good abilities, dude. Holy shit. Yeah, this game is certainly an interesting specimen if I've ever seen one.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Volition, yeah.
Voila, you're doing it. Really put your back into it. Yell it from the top of your lungs.
Can I have some money, ma'am?
Of course. How much do you need?
She's surprisingly nonchalant about this. If anything, your finally asking it has relieved some of the tension.
I need 130 real.
That's a good sum. Not too small, not fantastically large.
She removes a few notes and hands them to you. The paper is cold and oily to the touch.
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
I'm still getting my head around this whole money concept. You were just helping me out.
You're right, man, that donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, unseemly as it may be, as long as they're properly logged with the precinct.
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today?
Thank you, that's all for now. I can now pay off the Whirling in Rags for the damages I caused. Hooray! Pay off the Whirling in Rags, go talk to Measurehead and see how that goes. Because I think I'm gonna try and deck him. I have a pretty decent chance, I think. If not that, I could do the conceptualization, but I really want to punch him in the face. Holy hell. Yeah, this game has been full of unexpected turns, and I haven't even gotten into figuring out who killed the guy in the yard there. Holy shit.
Can I help you?
So about the money I owe.
Yes. Have you got it?
I have your money.
Well?
Here it is. Sorry for the trouble.
Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. It's good you paid before 9 p.m., or your door would have been locked electronically.
He taps his foot against the metal box installed in the black bar counter.
Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
I'll take a room here too.
He opens his wallet.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
Goodbye. Alright, what was the check? Was it electrochemistry for the, for wanting to punch out Measurehead? If it was electrochemistry to punch out Measurehead, I may have to find money for rent and pay guard. You need to find 20 real to pay for your room at the Whirling, or it will be locked after 9 p.m. Well, I can pay for that, that's for certain.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. Yes?
Well, I have 25 real, so I'm good there. Alright, let's go try to punch out Measurehead. I swear to God, if I manage to actually get lucky enough to roll on that, I'm gonna call bullshit on my tabletop sessions. Because as I said, I had tabletop yesterday and I rolled horribly during a combat scenario that we were in. Disco Elysium themed desktop. I wouldn't mind that.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Damn it. Fuck.
How did this happen? Your little fist is in his giant hand, and he's squeezing it.
Instead of punching him, knock his ass off the rails? Nah.
You must be out of your mind, degenerate drunk. Say it. I am a degenerate alcoholic.
Fuck you.
Your fist cracks in his hand like a ripe apple. Pain shoots up into your brain as he's twisting it more and more.
The words to the song have changed. Say, I am a violent drunk.
No. I won't fucking say anything.
Your hand twists in his grip and the pain blinds you. Still you press the words out of your swollen mouth.
Good. Now leave before you humiliate your homoerotic organization any further.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is called to this stuff.
Measurehead, I am new to this world. Help me understand its races. I need to know what kind of races are there.
Do you?
It's for the thing.
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and then to you.
So, yeah, I failed that pretty hard.
You are obviously a liberal, Sailmate. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of mycotechnology and your sartorial choices. Do not deny your friend the truth you have denied yourself. There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races.
Oh my god.
And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on?
Oh my god. Oh, this is just too much.
Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile. They are all lactose intolerant.
Oh my god.
A common result of inbreeding.
Jesus Christ.
A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. In Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort, wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats.
Wait, who exactly are the Malm?
You know them by the names of their nation states. The Oranese, the Gotwaldians, and the Königsteiners. My people simply call them Maun. The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity and Tassel-centric culture. Inbreeding has led to a lactose-intolerant subrace whom no one can take seriously.
Oh my god.
Colorful tassels are, let's be honest, not a good sartorial choice for this century. You might want to avoid wooden clothes too.
Okay, got it. Who are Type A then, in your view?
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the Golden Pisantic Sea, the Surans.
I wonder how the actor for Measurehead felt
North,
reading these lines.
All have Type A race propensities. The other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent and expansionist, but they have a glandular problem. Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food.
Oh my god.
Which in turn only produces more sebum.
Oh my god. Who are these Seminese and Areopagites in this?
As proven by the Maun
Oh my
and
god.
the Mesk, Occidental Type A is in retrograde. The Seminese and the Areopagites are on the ascent.
Combo, we're getting a crash course on critical race theory. We're getting a crash course on race theory from this guy here. This is something. And the Seminese are
The indigenous people of this, the Insulindian archipelago. The Seminese inhabit the southern islands. I am Seminese, from the stock of Ulembuir on Ile de Fantôme. The Areopagites are the master race of the Ile Maran deserts. The Seminese are descendants of the Areopagites. We came here during a heroic migration from Ile Maran to Ansuland, thousands of years before the lactose-intolerant Maun Occidentals discovered this place.
Oh my god. Guys, this game is like this game's the equivalent of a really, really draining lecture. Like a really uncomfortable TED Talk. And I mean that in a complimentary way. Like, I don't know how else I can describe it.
The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Seminese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable
This kind of dude to take
progenitor,
Chad memes seriously and use it as
unchanged
education.
since
Yes,
the
exactly!
Isola of Pericarnasis.
The average
Ancient brains
Angul drinker versus the average Seminese power man. Oh my god. Oh.
The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Semeno-Areopagite or Simeopagite super race. That is all. There are no more Type A races in the world.
Nature was not capable of more.
Type B?
Type B are the unheroic races. Amorphous non-competitors of the
Christ.
great race. The Koikos and the Vacholiers.
Type
they are
Type B. Type B. Yeah, Type B. Yeah, there are accents in this game combo, like influences of French, British, a lot of French and British, I think.
The Koikos of Grad, Hugo, Zimsk, Chest et al. Are what you would call white officer in a suspect description.
You said Koikos. I've trained to identify them as white in our official descriptions.
Yes. To an untrained eye, the Koiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are of an indistinct color, and so is their skin. Unhealthy, muddy, and ashen. Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking Al-Ghul and smoking the degenerate tobacco, and for eating potato. The Koiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad,
So he's essentially calling white people a beta race.
The only thing they
Jesus
like
Christ.
is divided into microscopic ethnostates, like political amoeba.
And the Vacholiers you mentioned?
The Vacholians, halfway between type A and racial cauldron. Two mixed to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little revolution, which was the single greatest failure committed by humans in our 82,000-year history on this planet.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening.
I'm pretty sure.
That seems a little off.
I'm pretty sure history hasn't lasted that long.
The mysteries of the people of this planet are a tragedy that has played out countless times over, like a fever dream of skin, hair, and bone. Wake up, naive Chespius.
Cool how Encyclopedia has books for eyebrows. Wait, really? Let me look at that. I didn't notice that in the portrait. Where is that? Where is it? Oh yeah, no, I thought it was just open book and brain. Oh wait, I can level up a skill. What was the one for the wall? A net, policeman cloak, bird's nest Roy, mirror, conceptualization. There we go. I heard about this revolution. Mistakes were made, but it was the right stuff. You're wrong about it. So the revolution was essentially breaking against the communist regime that had since taken over Revachol and Martinez. Mistakes were made, and the revolution was a failure. Or was it a revolution to try and bring communism into, or try to re-establish it, and it failed? What was this revolution? I'm forgetting a whole lot of details.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zara's ridden potato carts. It is literally an illness. A prion disease that leaves the parietal and frontal lobe ridden with holes. A soft, sponge-like mass of dementia, hallucination, and paranoia. The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary prion condition passed.
So essentially what he's saying is that the
genetics,
actions of history have been sewn into our genetics.
but not sexually. Probably through trade roots and potate acid, the prime component of the potato plant. Enough of type mediocrity.
Type the vile C to F races, cauldron of peditrasty, please.
Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. Your morbid interest in them worries me.
Chimeric
Lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a masked woman and a Seminese man.
Oh my god.
Only possible if the mother is masked and the father Seminese. The other way around, they fail to produce offspring. The mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey. All they have left is to ride customized motor carriages with hydraulic suspension, listening to aggressive El Mariachi music to vent their impotent despair.
Holy shit. This game is just giving me so much to, like, I'm fascinated, but not, like, oh. Wow. Wow. Any more?
And there is the Simino Koiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know of the Simino Koiki Chimera? It is not an aesthetic site.
Sure.
The Koiko,
I'm knee deep in this bullshit anyway.
Are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. Racial scientists have toyed with the idea of crossing the Simonese with the Koiko to produce a super worker of Simonese strength and great servility. This will never happen. The Simonese and the Koiko may have similar interbreeding problems as the mosquito.
Oh my god.
We will never know precisely. No Simonese man could maintain an erection and the suffocating potato stench of a Koiko.
Oh.
But enough. It is cruel to entertain ourselves with the deformity. Were there any able-bodied races you needed education on?
No. No. Oh. Oh my god. Oh. Holy shit. What the fuck am I watching? Oh, now that we've been through all the types, do I understand advanced race theory?
You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it.
Will you let me into the harbor if I do?
We will see.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation, but there may be another way in, without becoming a race theoretician.
Am I mildly worried he might take it seriously? The lieutenant thinks. Yes, I am, he concludes. I am worried.
I'm getting off of this fucking boat.
Lost, though. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss.
Yeah, that's locked.
Julian. Your love for disco music and venereal disease?
Wow. Oh, man, that was... Kim wants to talk. What do you want to talk about, buddy?
I'd appreciate it if you didn't force us into situations where I may have to shoot random civilians, because that won't get us anywhere. I'm not even sure the one bullet my chamber holds would even prick that hook.
I was trying to... Alright, fine, I won't do it again.
Let's think of something else.
Yeah, that... I just wanted to attempt something there, but... Wow. Wow. Well, that was an absolute abject failure. And I was just given a full-ass lecture for my failure. Holy fuck. Maybe it would have been better if I went for the conceptualization first and then tried to knock him out. I don't know. I honest to God, do not know. Oh. All I do know is that I feel like I need to take a nap after that. Holy shit. That was a conversation. Whew. All right.
Can I help you?
Okay, well, I've paid off the deal. Paid off the room and the damages and all that. Oh. Wow. And I made Kim mad because I attempted to knock somebody out. Albeit I failed, but I attempted to knock somebody out. Actually, I'm gonna put those back on in case I want to go talk to Roy at the pawn shop. Wow. Oh, this game has got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. Okay. All right. Roy, I've got a thing to sell to you.
Hello again. How can I help you? Sure. Let me have a... I'm not and especially...
Your mother is a necrotic object! I'm fun! Look at me sparking in the light of the projector!
I forgot that was the first option.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
There.
Another time, perhaps.
Strange tie incident. I want to ask about my missing gun again.
Sure thing.
All
sure,
right,
man.
Nope, still no clue. You obviously haven't been doing enough drugs lately.
Alright. Well, I couldn't get that.
The boomboxes wait on the shelves. And your boombox, that gold and amber Harmon Waushi, stares at you longingly with its tape reel eyes.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and opt out of this. Wow. Measurehead is certainly something, man. Imagine if I'm gonna head to bed. Good night, combo. Hope you sleep well, man. Whew. That was a lot. Let's see. It's 8 p.m. that the guy is supposed to show up at his apartment, I believe. So...
The lights are so pretty when it gets dark.
Okay, more skill and composure. Okay. Oh, something here. The books appear to be erotica, but without actual erotica. Of course, the physique part would want to have that in mind. Oh my god. Jesus, I just cannot fathom the conversations that I've been having. It was so much. Alright, I'm gonna do a once around. I think I got a majority of the bottles that were there. Yeah, I did. And it would make sense that Kim would start to get fed up with the dumb ideas that I'm trying to get into. Because he's like, I just saw this man attempt to knock a dude out. Like, and fail. Oh. I think I can jam this open. Whew. Pry bar. No. Can't open that. Maybe if I had different pants on? I don't fucking know, man. That was just a lot.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Why am I looking at this wall?
Yeah, why?
Why must we stop to look at this wall every time we pass by?
God damn it. Conceptualization, you need to... God damn it, conceptualization, you keep failing me with that wall. Alright. Well, I'm gonna check out what the drugstore may have for me, because I actually haven't gone in there yet. I mean, I only went in there to get money for the, from the bottles I've been recycling. Oh. Yellow roses, dozens of them. Tulips, too. A melancholy pop song plays on the radio.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back.
What's that?
What is what? It's a raincoat. If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real. Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
What's that magazine she's reading?
What's the magazine you're reading?
You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's got, like, famous people in it. It's not for sale.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you.
What's this fashion police feature?
It's where they rate different outfits famous people wear. It's kind of funny. They're kind of mean. It's about who's the most stylish.
So who's the most stylish here? It can't be anyone from here.
Benita. She's a model. Usually it's a model. Or a singer-songwriter. Or a model.
We are not the fashion police. We're the real police.
Before we go on, what is this Frit?
I don't know. Frit?
And what is Frit?
A 7 to 11 grocery store.
And why is it written with 3 T's?
I think they think that the extra T makes it funkier. It doesn't.
Let's proceed. I have some questions for you.
Okay.
Does Frit
I'm
have
not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but...
Does Frit have a warehouse in the back of the Whirling in Rags?
A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what Frit does.
Come on, give me something to work with here.
She looks up from under her brow.
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
Can you tell me about anything about the dead body?
I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so...
Did you know the man who died?
Not really.
Not really? Doesn't mean you knew him a little?
No. I didn't know him at all.
How long has it been there?
I don't know, really long.
This is the completely, like, zone out teenager that's just there for an occasional minimum wage pay. What do you think happened?
I don't know.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know, okay?
Okay.
Thank you for your help.
Uh-huh.
Can you tell me anything about this reality we're in?
Reality? You mean, what reality? Economic reality, or
She is like a student unexpectedly called upon by a teacher.
Yeah.
Can she answer the classroom question?
No, I meant the physical reality.
I don't know. What about it?
What time is it?
I don't know. Look at the clock. It's right behind you on the wall.
The clock shows the time at 10:09. The hands seem to be still. It's apparent the clock doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it says 7 p.m.-ish on here. What's the coalition? Someone told me there's one.
Our government? Or do you mean something else? Sorry, I really need to finish this article.
What is the revolution?
When ordinary people take over the government and demand democracy.
What about the one we had here in Revachol?
Yeah, it happened like 50 years ago or so. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. At history, I mean.
Where are we?
We're in Frit
No, I meant where are we on a larger scale?
as mankind, or as a nation, or...
What will her essay prompt be?
As a mankind.
in a good place.
I
I mean, science is doing great, and this radio computer thing seems to be kinda big. I don't know.
I won't bother you with this nonsense anymore.
Oh.
Yep, nothing of interest here. That was pretty funny, though, just to essentially be like... She's the kind that would be like staring down at her phone texting in the middle of a lecture. That's essentially what that clerk is like. All right.
I guess getting past the man ain't that simple after all. So, what now?
I need to go up behind...
My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits.
Does this mean you can let me through the gate?
I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
That's simple? I just walk in?
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in.
Measurehead? I think I met him.
Yeah, the 2.5-meter tall Semini supremacist up there. Walk right past him.
Oh no, he is a supremacist. Oh no.
Then press
Right.
the button to unlock the door.
Uh-huh.
Then go past him again.
Okay.
And you enter the arbor through the office. Stop.
For some reason it doesn't seem like it's gonna be that easy.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best Measurehead in a physical confrontation.
Yeah, he nearly broke my hand.
Or you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview. Or... maybe it actually is completely impossible.
Has anyone ever bested him in a physical confrontation?
Not yet, no. He's incredibly strong.
Nothing a couple of solid hooks from Dexter and Sinister won't fix.
I'm sorry, did Physical Instrument just fucking name my fists? Fuck you.
Sure.
The Measurehead thing didn't go well for me. Could you help me with that somehow?
Sorry. Busy surveying the situation. I'm sure you'll figure something out. You guys have all sorts of gadgets these days. Wiretapping, telescopic batons, futuristic circuit bending to infiltrate harbor machinery. Maybe you could even knock that Kowalczyk crane over using some remote controls. Or calling in tactical air support. You guys have air support, right?
Wait, we have air support? Why didn't you tell me?
Because we don't. We don't have air support or any of those other things.
I get it. Hush hush about the secret technology. Alright, I may have some advice for you on how to deal with Jean-Luc there, out of solidarity to the RCM. It's low in technology, however.
Yes?
First, don't fight him, obviously. Second, get him to share his theory by being subordinate. Admit your lack of expertise. Basically grovel. That's how I do it. You're welcome.
Maybe that would work. We'll have to see.
Yeah, no, I don't want to subordinate to his views. Holy shit. Yeah, that one's not gonna work. How about you, buddy?
Nice aggression with the native. Don't let the chief fool you next time. You don't need to be that up in his face. Leave yourself space to move.
Not bad advice, actually. This might do the trick.
Let's talk about our right to work.
I need you to be my champion against Jean-Luc up there.
No, I'm not a fighter. I'm a worker.
I think I might try that again. Can I try it again? I want to try it again. If I can.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Still formidable. No, I don't want to try it again until it reaches around a 70 or 80% chance. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna try to knock him out at a 50 again. That was just me going on possible dice luck. Alright. Can I ask him about staying here again?
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. Yes?
Alright, nope, I can't. Oh, excuse me. Stretch my back. See if I can knock on the door.
The door is closed. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on. Somewhere inside, a tremendous loneliness comes over you. Everybody in the world is doing something without you.
Swallow the emotion.
The door is closed. You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it.
The what now?
The living shit. Your mesolimbic reward pathway does not mince words. It wants smokes.
Am I a smoker?
Who knows what you are? A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma? You feel like a smoker, especially when you look at that juicy, succulent, seductive cigarette
Oh my
stub,
god.
still smoldering deliciously.
But she broke it at the filter. I can't smoke that.
How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Strike that. A carton. Make sure they're all healthy and able-bodied. Then smoke them all.
The idea seems to make your neck expand. Suddenly, the garish tie feels very snug.
He's trying to...
Like a cat rubbing itself against its owner's calves. A cat that wants you to smoke a lot.
I'll think about it.
Good. Thinking about yummy cigarettes in your mouth is the next best thing. Make sure you think about juicy sticks of tobacco all the time, though. And when you're done thinking about them, graduate to getting them. Plus, smoking them gives massive bonuses.
No, I'm taking these gloves off. Electrochemistry is not what I'm liking at the moment. Nope. Yeah, no. Actually, can I pick up all the bottles in here and use them for the recycle? Having more money is never a bad thing. can't. Not that big one. All right. I got all that. So I can go ahead and get some more money. All right. Well, we're roughly about 30 minutes away from being able to talk to the skinny guy. So we'll do that once the time arrives.
The tear machine your bottles clunk into...
Alright, there we go. It's not much, but it's getting me something. Alright. Let's go... What can I do to pass the time? I could buy a book, but I really don't want to contribute to that lady's awful business practice by having her daughter out in the cold. What's back here?
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. Nothing.
What's behind the curtains?
Why aren't you browsing the books? Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? You ought to.
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Examine the strange cage-like trinket.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
Pull open the curtains.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
Is this about the curse? That's why you're afraid?
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains.
Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
The curtains do seem frail suddenly, not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness.
Oh my god. But I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold.
You do? My god, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir.
I don't care. You can't stop me. I'll open them.
No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme.
There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
Rip them apart, this time for real.
You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
I warned you, you're unleashing forces beyond your understanding.
Well, lady, I've got a flashlight, so, yeah. A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man. Merely looking at that unmanly haircut threatens your masculinity. Fuck off, that haircut's cool. Ghostly silhouettes of hairdryers.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. What if you just break it down?
Knock the door. Knock on the door.
Only an echo. No one is there.
Maybe I should break it down, but not before I strategize.
That's right. Take in your surroundings. You need to have a solid ground and a proper posture if you want to succeed.
Check your surroundings.
The room is dimly lit and littered with old barbershop rubbish, but the path to the door is clear.
Okay, so this place was definitely some kind of salon or barbershop.
It's made of a solid block of wood, but it has stood there for ages. The hinges are old and coated with a carmine layer of rust. It should be doable.
There's no handle on this thing. See if that does it.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms.
Nope, didn't think so.
Ow, shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just run through the door? Don't you know that things like that hurt?
Please don't cry, please don't cry, please don't cry. I don't want anyone to see me cry.
Are you alright? This looked pretty intense and painful, I must admit.
What is going on there? Are you really trying to break down the back door? I warn you, don't tempt the spirits, officer. Don't tempt the spirits, or you'll damage the holy wards on the door.
The what?
It really looks like you've done any damage to the door, however. It's still locked and closed, covered in dozens of little charms and trinkets.
Alright, well that was fun. I thought the crowbar would help me, but I guess not.
You've hurt yourself now. I told you not to mess around back there. What are you even trying to accomplish, you fool?
Nothing. I'm just terribly clumsy sometimes. Sorry.
You're only making things worse. Stop it. Be compelled to look at the books. Go to them.
What if I want to buy a book?
Then why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy anything?
So what type of books do you have?
Those shelves there? Go. Be drawn.
Jesus, she sounds like a fucking witch of the Wild book.
Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. The shelves compel you, don't they?
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Jesus Christ. The book collects the nation's recipes of Arda. They're all about lake trout. Old sports magazines tucked away in a dark corner. a quaint picture book brochure, very colorful. It's a tome of fascist magic, rather candid.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell.
Store keep anything of note in the shelf?
I would say... The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power.
Who or what is an innocence?
A very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things.
I thought it was about which of these innocences is the coolest and the greatest.
Perhaps for a layman, deep analysis is necessary to peel back the multi-layered meanings.
Do her words seem vague and abstract to you?
Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
A true cultural touchstone. Enjoy the read.
Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook. High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other.
Jesus.
Next to that, Rivasholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though, but not too long. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce.
Well, I bought a book, and now I've passed up enough time, and I think I can go ahead and walk to the apartments, talk to the man. Excuse me. Interact. Well, we certainly tried some funny things here. We certainly tried some funny shit here. You hear distant traffic. Night is falling on the city. A maroon glow of light pollution rises from the east.
This door is made of metal, and no one answers.
We should return tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9 p.m.
Oh, tomorrow at 9. Oh. I was completely wrong. So tomorrow at 9, not tonight at 9. I'm stupid. My bad. Damn it. Can't open that door. Alright. Well, since I was wrong and I thought it was today in game when it's actually tomorrow. Wondering if I can interact with the body again. I think I'm going to try that and then I'll end the stream.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all. The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. You manage to keep it in once. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
Nope. The ammonia didn't help at all.
Nor does the wind right now.
The weight is reassuring, like a krenel on solid fortification. Pat, pat, pat.
I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder.
What is happening to you? Are you going to cry now, son? You heard the coach. This is weakness. It cannot go on much longer, or you will lose.
Give me a moment, I got this. Let's try again.
An appropriate attitude. You need to get your shit together.
Say nothing, just nod.
We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now.
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over, go to your...
Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
Volumetric shit What? Volumetric shit compressor. Your shit is a part, and it's rather unbecoming of a cop and a human being. It's supposed to be the opposite of that. Together. Compressed in a small area. To achieve a solid level of shit compression, squeeze your butt cheeks together for 30 minutes. Do something similar with 2 hemispheres of your brain. Talk to people. Maybe that will help. I should have done that way earlier. Oops. I do like the name of the skill, though. Volumetric shit compressor. All right.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. Yes?
So I don't... Do I pay him here, or do I pay him, like... How does this work? How... like, do I... Because he said the door magnetically locks at... Or electronically locks at 9, right?
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
All right, let's go.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
I didn't know you smoked, Kim.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
How'd you get so cool, Kim?
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will, and unhealthy.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit, below it all.
I apologize, but I only brought one with me. I have exactly one cigarette every night while going over my notes.
All right then, the debrief.
Yes. It's been a long and eventful day.
How do you think today went?
Well, you were so hungover that you couldn't keep it down when we approached the hanged man, so we didn't even inspect the body. But we performed a thorough search of the premises of the crime scene. That's great.
Though you really dropped the ball on inspecting the body, he doesn't want you to feel too discouraged. Probably out of fear that you'll just give up and keep drinking.
I generally prefer to start with searching the scene and then move on to dealing with dead bodies.
It's not my job to evaluate your methodology, officer. I'm just going through the facts. As for the interviews, we weren't able to find the union leader, Everard Clare, much less interview him. So that's on the to-do list for tomorrow. We talked to Joyce Messier, but didn't get any information from her. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
I don't like to waste time, you know. My mind moves fast. The rest has to try to keep up. I don't know why I do the things I do, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And in those hands.
I mean, that is true. Snakeskin shoes don't exactly provide the best kind of heels for running.
Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles suddenly. So what are our powers exactly, the RCM?
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
1,000? Why not more?
The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Rebachol.
Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse?
Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station coldly. It prevents confusion and overcrowding.
Wait, how can you be so sure the arrestee will show up?
You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they're eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
Oh, so the cops really are just essentially like, hey, don't do that bad thing, you're gonna be under arrest. And they'll be like, fuck you, cop. And then it's like, well, you're arrested, you've now been enforced. And it's like, oh no, I can't buy 4 bottles, I can't buy 4 cans of soda instead. I can buy only 1 can of soda instead of 4. What a tragedy. So it almost feels like we're the slappers of the wrist, so to speak.
When power calls you, you come. But power itself is a fragile trick of perception.
I see. And if someone resists?
As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power.
What happens to the people we convict?
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
Wait, so if I kill someone while on duty...
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best.
And who makes all these rules?
The coalition government, and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less.
His gaze is absently fixed on a window below that just went dark.
Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM.
Allowed to exist. So essentially... I say the government.
It's probably more honest, yes. Either way, the moral intern leases us the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away if we misuse it.
The moral intern, what is it?
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
If I didn't know, how would you describe them?
They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
What's their symbol?
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Something kind and usual. Something ominous.
What do they believe in?
What do they believe in? They are DeLoreans. They believe they continue the humanist project.
They're DeLoreans? You mean they're the vehicle from Back to the Future?
4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
Who was Dolores Day?
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
What do you think of them?
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen.
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
You like the moral intern?
Yes, I did, when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky. They're not all that bad.
That's another leitmotif associated with moralism.
But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. No, I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me.
I have an opinion on the moral intern.
Do you?
Things are bad out there. We have them here, giving us the right to police Revachol. They've done an awful job here. Have you seen this place? This isn't humanism. We are stooges of the world's biggest Burgies? I have no idea how to pronounce that word. Organization protecting those rights. Immigrants, rebel fucking men are turning into women. On second thought, I don't have an opinion for... No, I am not picking... Fuck you. What is number 4? Whew. So humanism. Yeah, this isn't really humanism, considering what's going on at the moment.
We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes.
That's actually vigilantes is okay with me.
Then you will adore Martinez. For many of these people, the Union especially, vigilantes is precisely what we are. Personally, I don't enjoy it much.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different in land, in Jamrock and the GRIH.
Why are they like this?
It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our two precincts.
And then Jamrock and the Gree?
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land.
He looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky.
It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
I hope our investigation will help improve the situation here. At least do some good.
Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes.
Incremental. Piece by piece.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Well, I think that, after we wake up, is going to be the nice enough spot to end it if I've ever seen one.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
Crawl in.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep doesn't come.
Huh?
And then sleep doesn't come.
But I want to sleep. Why?
Maybe it's the bed's fault.
Check the pillow?
Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly.
Yeah, that would probably do it. Check the blanket.
It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. You won't get off this carousel quite so easily.
Roll over to the other side.
It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
Who killed him? Who?
Something to do with
I remember nothing.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
You said... who?
Do you remember the warmth of and in her mouth.
Tell me what this is. I'm not answering before you tell me who you are.
You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets, wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
I left.
Oh no, Funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left. Or you just stood there, with one hand on the bottle and the other on your dick, watching it go. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I can get it all back.
No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
What is Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Isolas. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
I've seen you before.
No, you haven't. You're just sleep talking. And the act is wearing thin, too. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed. Stinky boy.
Limbic system. There we go. I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
My mind is tired and broken.
Your mind is what now? I can't hear you. The rest is just a word dream. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
God, there's another type?
Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
So it's fair to say I did not have a good rest then. Ugh.
Good going, buddy.
Oh my God. What the hell was that?
Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night.
What the hell is going on with me?
You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
Why is this happening?
It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself.
No, I can take this. I'm not going to go looking for speed.
Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days?
Oh, so you were addicted to
Basically,
speed.
a week.
Uh-oh.
Let's be honest. 2 weeks. Maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired.
That's a lie. I can do this without the speed. Half the town won't be dead.
Suit yourself, slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark.
Fuck, man. Let's go to the mirror. See if we can try to, adjust the expression.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression. Like the rest of you.
Damn it!
It comes from a bad place, somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now.
What tool would be used for this?
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression. The chain
Damn
cutters
it!
slip out of your hands as you attempt to twist the faucet into place. Well, you know one thing for sure. You've probably never been a plumber.
All right. Well, with that, enlightening, sequence in mind, I think that is a nice enough spot to end, if any. Let's save. And, yeah, that'll be it for now. So, hopefully you all had a good time here. I certainly did, despite the, interesting conversation topics that were brought around. And I definitely want to keep going on this game. I will probably take a break, though, to do a different game on stream, so be sure to keep an eye out on that. And if you like what you saw, be sure to give me a follow here on Twitch, and keep on my Twitter for any updates. So, yeah. Hope all of you have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.